Hello everyone, I'm Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. This time we are once again reacting to a video clip from the Whatever podcast, and this one is called She Calls Men Sexist for Having This Preference. Now I believe I know the preference that this is talking about because a lot of women don't like that men have this preference. And I'm going to guess before we start the video that the preference is that men don't want women who have been run through, have kid. Well, okay, most men don't want a woman who has kids with someone else. And also men don't want women that are overweight. Now, this is not all men. This is probably most men, but it's not all men, because there are men who don't mind if a woman has a kid or two. There are men who there are some men who prefer a bigger woman, and there are some men in that category who like to be feeders, which is just creepy as hell and very unhealthy. And there are men who honestly don't mind how many men the woman has slept with. But generally, men don't like to have those three things of a woman. And it sucks that we men keep getting called sexist for having these preferences when they are just preferences. It's not sexist at all. Now that's my prediction of what these preferences are. I could be wrong, but let's see.
Okay, you had made the comparison that, okay, well, guys, they have beards, therefore that's kind of comparable to like women wearing
I think
makeup.
it's just like a sexist argument in general, because now in 2023 we're at the point where like men wear makeup too.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
Yeah, that was to that.
Pretty aggressive.
Because you saying that's sexist, it just like realistically, it just makes girls look bad. Because a man preferring a woman without makeup is not sexist; it's his preference. Just like you can prefer him with or without a beard.
So I agree. I just think it's sexist on the fact that like men think that if a woman wears makeup or not, it's going to play a part in her personality.
It does.
I think it does.
I can
to an extent.
I mean, you're
wholeheartedly
wearing
say
makeup,
that
so
it
I don't
does.
think
Yeah,
it plays a
that's
negative
fine.
part.
No, but it depends on
can
how.
be.
Yeah, it absolutely can be, and it depends on how far you take that. Like, okay, sure, pretty much all of us are wearing makeup besides you. We're on a podcast. This is not like how I present myself day to day. There are plenty of women that wear a lot of makeup every single day, and that is what he's commenting
But I
on.
still don't understand.
For me personally, I don't care if the woman wants to wear makeup. It does become much if you wear like so much makeup, it alters you completely into this different person. And that's like, it's like you're wearing, it's like you took a cake and just face planted yourself into it, and there's your makeup. It's basically, you're wearing like 10 pounds of makeup. Like that cannot be good for your skin, because a lot of these makeups are probably not good for your skin. It probably will make it worse. I understand if you want to wear a light amount of makeup to, freshen yourself up, or, bring out your more natural beauty or anything like that. But to have to wear to the point where you're like a fucking transformer, that's a bit much. And to the point where it takes you like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours just to put on that makeup. It's much. It's a bit much. I got nothing against it. Do what you want, but it's a lot, don't you think?
Understand like what is fundamentally wrong with that. Like you may not like
so
it.
You have an
I guess to
insecurity.
but what is wrong
illustrate the
with
point,
it?
do you have a dating profile?
A dating profile?
Yeah, like, do Dating you app, use Hinge?
Dating app, Tinder.
No, I'm
Hinge,
in a relationship.
Bumble.
Okay, yeah. Well, have you ever had Hinge, Bumble?
Yeah.
Any of the pictures in your profile without makeup?
Yeah. Actually, they were.
Really?
I don't wear makeup often. I like wore it especially for today.
So I think generally speaking, most women who present themselves, especially in the dating pool, they present them a false image of who they actually are. You see that with makeup, you see that with filters, you see that all over the place, and it's just
That shit's true.
It's just true.
That shit's true.
But men do the same thing in different ways.
How?
Posing on.
Okay, the dating sites, they have gotten so fucking far out of hand. I have been on dating sites for almost 10 years. And the one thing I think they have gone completely out of control. like, especially, I don't know about the men's side. I really don't, because I'm not gay. I'm not bisexual. I don't go for men like that. But for what I see of the women's side, the vast majority of them are either bots or a woman who, after matches with you, tries to get you to go over to their Instagram, their Snapchat, and if you go over there, they then try to get you to go onto some other site, some cam site or OnlyFans site or whatever the fuck. In my opinion, fuck off. And the one with the dating sites, the one thing that annoys me is the ladies who go on there who already are in a relationship or not in a relationship and just say, I'm just here to make friends. Why the fuck are you on a dating site? It is called a dating site. They are made for people who are looking for somebody to date or eventually marry and have a life with. Go on somewhere else to find friends. Facebook, Twitter, these other sites you can go to find friends. Go out and find friends. Don't go on dating sites just to find a friend. I mean, if you match with somebody and it doesn't work out and you become friends, that great, you found a friend. But they are for dating, not friendship. They're for relationships. That's the one thing that bugs me. I'm trying to find somebody to spend my life with, and here I am, keep running into fucking bots or hoes. I just want love. The other thing that sucks is you find a lot of on the men's side, you find a lot of these women who use all these filters, these pounds and pounds of makeup. It's just, I want to see you. Just you. If you want to wear a light amount of makeup to bring out your more natural beauty, that's fine. That's great. But don't use filters and don't use makeup to the point where you are a completely different person than in real life. It's false advertising. Like they say, it's false advertising, and you're basically catfishing the person you match with. Don't do that shit. It seriously pisses off a lot of people who are genuinely trying to find a relationship.
On expensive cars that aren't theirs, posing with
Women do that too.
women who are like paid to be there, like escorts.
That's
I don't know.
Those are just
pretty rare.
exceptions.
Yeah, I
That's
was
like
gonna say.
extremely
okay,
rare.
Here.
I don't
If
think
you
it's
take-
extremely rare.
Let me
I
just
experience
respond
it
to
every
that.
day.
If you take like an average guy, he's not like hiring women to pose with him. Whereas like you take an average girl who goes to college, she probably wears makeup. Like at least if we're on dating apps, and I haven't been on dating apps in a while, but like if I'm actually I still have like the shitty Facebook dating app, which if I'm swiping through, just the first picture, right? If you don't do a deep dive, and maybe you do a deep dive into their profile, maybe they have one photo without makeup. I want to say the first photo that you see, which is the eye catcher, 90% of the time, it's going to be makeup, and 50% of the time, filter on top of that.
What's
That's
wrong
kind
with
of
that?
well.
It's,
okay,
it's deceiving on how you actually look in.
Look, with podcasts like these, they do get a bunch of these airheaded women. I can understand that, but it's women like this lady right here that don't understand that false advertising like that sort of stuff is it's horrible to do to the person. Whether you're lesbian, bi, gay, whatever, if you wear all this stuff and not actually show who you are, it's false advertising, it's catfishing, and you're not being truthful. I mean, what are you gonna do if you go to if you've been with this person, they've only seen you with makeup, and then they see you without this makeup, and they don't like what they see? How are you gonna react? You didn't catch this. You caught this person on false pretenses, on false advertising. That's not a good way to build a relationship or even a friendship. If you be truthful to the person, that's a much better way to do it.
Real life without makeup on.
I don't object. Like, if they have one or two photos in their profile without makeup, I think that's fair. But if your whole profile on a dating app is like pretty heavy makeup and or face filters, that's very deceptive.
I mean, like, I understand what you guys are saying. You think it's deceptive, I still don't think that deception is wrong.
You don't think deception is wrong?
I think that I don't think that type of deception.
This woman, I swear to God, she doesn't get it.
If it makes a girl confident in herself to wear as much makeup, put as much filler as she wants.
Sorry, hold the thought. Hold the thought.
Donated
We'll get to it.
$99 to the promiscuous corn star with the simp boyfriend that lets his girl do naughty films with other men. Do you believe you bring value to any man at all? What could you possibly bring to the table to a real man of value that worked years?
He's the roaster. He roasts everybody.
At Beaten Cheeks.
Thank you for getting.
I mean, he's got a point. Let me read this again if you didn't really understand what it was saying. To the promiscuous corn star with a simp boyfriend that lets his girl do naughty films with other men. Do you believe you bring value to any man at all? What could you possibly bring to the table to a real man of value that worked years to build a life? Now, see, that's the thing. For a man who's built everything, he has his life together, he has his own house, he has his own car, he makes a decent wage to support himself and any person he wants to bring into his life. And he has everything established. And he has a good reputation and everything. He takes care of himself as well. Here comes this person whose only value she's ever brought to herself was getting herself railed for views and money. A man like that is not going to want a woman like that because she doesn't really bring anything. It's a harsh reality, but it's true.
His name right, by the way. I appreciate that.
I would just like to point out the inverse of that, saying that if my body count and what I do for work is the most important thing about me to you, then you're not the type of partner that I want.
There you have it, Beaten Cheeks. You were saying about makeup and deception.
Yeah, I can see what you guys think, how it's like deceptive, but I also think that's like a hater perspective. Let girls do what they want. Let them feel comfortable in whatever makeup they feel like and whatever filler, plastic surgery, whatever. And if you don't like it, move on.
I have to pull up one chat, but I do want to address.
See, I get what she's saying. If the woman feels comfortable in everything and what she has, what she put on herself, what she paid to put on or in herself, that's fine. Be comfortable. Do what you want. If it makes you feel better, if it makes you feel more comfortable with yourself, go right ahead. Do what you want as long as it doesn't bring harm to others or interfere with other people's lives. The thing with that view is, though, you gotta... There is a consequence to every action you take. You gotta be okay with the fact that you just might not be able to bring in a high value partner if you've done all that and he doesn't want that. He or she doesn't want that in the person as a preference. You gotta run with that risk. If you're not seen as a high value woman because you've done all this materialistic and vanity type stuff to yourself, then you're not going to be seen as one.
Sorry guys, I have to pull this up before it falls off. Streamlabs only shows like the most recent 10 and it's about to fall off. Fally, not gonna lie, a little jealous of how often FTG is able to gift such hefty charity so often, not even for the attention he might be getting, because it's a she, by the way. I usually donate anonymously, but just how much she is probably helping you. Just wait, bro, I'll catch up to you. Well, first of all, Fally, you're very supportive last show. Thank you so much for your patronage. Means the world. Thank you so much, man. And then I think we're good for a little bit. So you're saying guys who are kind of opposed to makeup or don't like women who wear makeup, that they are haters? Is that?
Yeah, like if you have such a problem with it and you're obsessing over the fact that this girl's wearing makeup, she's being deceptive, then you're weird.
See, but I don't think they're obsessing over it whatsoever. Yeah. The reason that this is being brought up is because not most women, but a lot of women that do wear makeup present themselves that way, and then a man sees them either in real life because the dating app profile was deceptive. They see them in person and they're like, I'm not into that. They get hated on for that reason and saying that they don't want that.
Oh my gosh. It's not triggering.
I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't. Wait, this one. It's fine. Let me see if I'll re-trigger it. Hopefully they'll come through.
Comparison that I can kind of come up with would be...
Hold on. Let's just request for it in adult content. It would literally from skin-to-skin infections like the herp derp, and 70% of cases spread through asymptomatic viral shedding. This is why they don't test for it in adult content. It would literally shut down the industry. Most of them are infected.
Can I respond to that?
Sure.
Basically, I get tested every week.
They don't test for herpes and HPV, though.
70% of the worldwide population has herpes and HPV.
You're talking about, I don't know if it's HSV1 or HSV2, but there's the one that it's cold sores.
Yeah, it's just the
But
oral
that's
herpes.
different than genital herpes.
Which I don't have, by the way.
I don't think he's saying
Good
that.
to know.
When it comes to the testing that they do, they're not testing the actors for genital herpes or genital HPV.
I don't understand when you say they're not testing. Each performer has their own set of database that, like, if someone wants every single person that they work with to get tested for herpes, then they're not working with anyone who's not getting tested for herpes. So I don't know who, like, they is.
But I'm pretty sure, isn't there like a law in California that the people who do work in the adult industry, it's a required, I don't know if it's in the same way with
like
the
movie.
movie.
Pass certified, you have to get tested every 14
No,
days.
just let me finish. I don't know if it's the same way how in the movies, the film industry set up the MPAA, which is that gives out ratings. It's not a government body, it's within the film industry, but because they wanted to come in and say, we don't want the government to come in and start giving ratings and being a censor board. We're going to establish our own thing before the government comes in and says, hey, you need to start like rating films. So is it my understanding, though, I think there is a law in California that you need to be tested. Like, there are laws when it comes to testing, right?
Yeah, so the whole industry, like, you have to have a minimum of a 14-day STD test.
But they don't test for genital herpes and genital HPV.
No.
Okay.
Well, it's not required, but they do test for it.
Well, it's not required, but I'm pretty sure they don't test for it.
You can test for it.
You can test for it, but you aren't required to test for it.
Right, that's what I just said.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. They should require it, though. They should require testing of every single sort of STD there is. Even if it's a very curable one. They should still test for it.
Right.
But donated $99. You can go years without having an outbreak, but all along with the way you're spreading it to people. Once infected, you're 7x more likely to contract HIV, have to take antivirals for the rest of your life, and have to disclose to all future partners.
Word.
That is true.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
That's the one thing. It's just, if you're gonna go into just don't go into the adult industry. I've heard so many horrible things about it. People being mistreated and everything, and it doesn't pay very well. I haven't been in the adult industry. I don't have the fucking body for it anyways. I'm too damn fucking fat. I'm not good looking enough. But yeah, for any woman or man out there thinking of going into the adult industry, I highly recommend you don't. I understand that you think it's easy money and everything, but all you're doing is you're putting yourself at risk every single day for an STD that is probably incurable and you have to live with for the rest of your life until you die, and could possibly kill you before you should have died. So be safe. Do something that's not the adult industry.
Okay, where were we? You were making a point, right, on the makeup topic?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was going to say that the, like, kind of somewhat mirror comparison to that standpoint would be, the reason being, I'll just state the reason behind it, is that men on, like, a baseline level for, like, seeking out partners value youth and beauty, whereas women value a man's ability to protect and provide. So essentially that, like, income and, like, net worth add into that, obviously play a big part in today's society. It would be like if a guy lied about his income or his job to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and clearly that would be a deception that you probably wouldn't look past once you figured out about it.
Of course.
Though she's just going to keep trying to argue her point because she thinks she's right. She doesn't believe she's wrong. But it is a very true comparison. If a woman is lying about her looks and who she is, it's the same thing about a man who's lying about his height, income, and all this sort of stuff. So, I mean, if you're going to be the way that you are in that, then you can't get mad at the guy for lying about his things. You're being just as bad.
But I still don't, even though it would make me upset.
So if a guy worked at McDonald's but told you that he was this like billionaire finance guy,
Sorry, hold on.
donated
Hold the thought.
$99.
Write it down.
Hey Brain. Sorry I'm late. Busy day working on my magnum opus.
Good to see you, man.
Telling women that I'm stronger than them. Listening to K. LL This Love by Blackpink.
It's not that song.
Posing on cars. Mirroring games. Working on some 304's car at 11:30 at night. Anyway, did Layla Gluck Gluck?
No. No. She actually. She's first off. Okay, last show. She was. I'm 100% sure she's fucking trolling. She's just trying to, do her putting on the show nonsense, whatever. She did tweet a bit about it and she slid into my DMs, but she's fucking trolling. Like it's a. I'll have her back on the show, but it's a gimmick. Go ahead.
no, but if a guy like significantly lied about his income or like
McDonald's.
his occupation to you, you
But the
can't
thing
lie
is,
to me and say
I
that
would
that-
know when I showed up to the date and he couldn't pay the bill.
I mean,
Well,
I mean,
people can afford
fake it for one date.
Absolutely.
I mean, so what you said was, I'm quoting you, that what were the exact words? It was like putting forth a false image. What's the word I'm looking for? Is fine. Being deceptive is okay.
I didn't say it was okay. I just said I don't necessarily see why.
she said she doesn't think it's wrong.
morally
It does.
wrong.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
yeah.
The thing that she's trying to say is that she doesn't think it's wrong for women to do this. But it's not okay for men to do it. Double standard.
So deception is not morally wrong. Therefore, I can post all of these fancy cars and women on my arm and my dating profiles and show up to the date down to the nines and all this nice stuff, like showing off like, oh, look at my life, and you'd be so lucky to be in it. And then a few dates later you realize he works at McDonald's.
I mean, I'd be annoyed, but I honestly, like, I'm not a crazy person, so I would just
But it
leave it
is-
at that and
That's-
move
But
on.
the question
That's far
is
from
it
true.
wrong?
Let me
If
ask
the
you-
man wants to live his life as a poser and that's how he feels, like,
Do you want to date a
satisfaction-
poser?
No, but
Okay.
if he wants to date me,
Here.
as long as he's willing to keep up that lifestyle and that image, sure.
But he's
Wait.
not able to keep up that lifestyle. He has. He
Which
works
is why
on
I
a-
don't date men like that.
Okay, so earlier on in the conversation, when the guy, the Norse pagan, he mentioned something about decent.
She doesn't seem to understand the hypocrisy in her own words. Like I said, she's saying that it's okay for her and the women to be deceptive with their makeup and all this other stuff, but when a man does it, oh no, it's not okay. it's very hypocritical. Well, that was it for that video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this conversation that they're having about men's preferences and women's preferences. I do have a Twitch channel over that you can go check out. I do also have a Twitter, TikTok, and Discord that you all can go check out as well. Links to all of that is in the description below. If there are any other videos, songs, music videos, anything like that you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.